And we are live from Barstool Sports Headquarters 3. The units are back in New York City. I'm Coach Doug's. With me, as always, the Honorable Frank the Tank Fleming. Frank, how you doing?
Been crazy busy between being on the road with you, going up the I-95 from Florida, going through Carolinas, Atlanta, Virginia, Camden Yards. Of course, we had 5 minutes in Delaware.
Yep.
Those were a great 5 minutes.
There is very memorable 5 minutes. I believe, and that included the stop. We actually stopped, got some gas, stopped at the gas station, took a walk around.
Well, yeah, no, and since Delaware looks like a urinal, might as well use a urinal in Delaware.
That's all Frank Fleming. Coach Doug said nothing about Delaware, good
I
or
mean, look at the map. It looks like New Jersey is pissing into Delaware.
that's fair. That's fair. I guess if you live in New Jersey, you have to have somebody to bully, and New Jersey has picked Delaware.
I mean, come on, Delaware. You want to talk about it? Literally, yeah, you come from Delaware into Maine, and then you're not in Delaware. About 5-10 minutes later, you're crossing into New Jersey.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a small state, not the smallest, of course, but it's definitely in that top five. I believe it was a second right after Rhode Island.
Yep. Which, you know, coming soon to a unit trip to you.
Absolutely. Well, that's the whole. That's it. Units are on the road, and we're in New York right now. But
And of course, I'll have the video. I had the video up of our trip from Jacksonville to Tallahassee, and I plan to get the other videos from Tallahassee up the eastern seaboard
yeah,
coming very soon.
yeah, and Frank's referring to the video. Basically, puts the GoPro on the dashboard, or on the windshield of the Tahoe, and just lets it record. It's got that slow mo. And Frank, I included in my blog. I've never actually seen a video like that of down I-10. I knew I-10 didn't have much, but that video is very calming and soothing. I-10 is nothing but trees for the most part. But yeah, we had a great trip. Frank came down to Jacksonville, went to a jumbo shrimp game, my local team. And went into extra innings. We had free baseball, some fireworks. It was a great game.
Yep. And of course, we got an extra inning. Well, not extra inning. We got a overtime game in with the Florida State and Notre Dame.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did not expect that. Yeah, so came from Jacksonville, drove to Tallahassee on Saturday. Sunday game day. I mean, that was definitely not my normal game day. Just used to wake up early, get mimosas, tailgate for 6 to 8 hours, and so this was different. But we had mini golf. You had your first Whataburger. What do you think of Whataburger?
Whataburger was actually pretty good. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, and that it's a fast food chain. They're not in many places, but Texas and the Panhandle of Florida are definitely two of the major places that they're located. Whataburger was great, and then we went up to. I mean, tell you, we got our steps in. We went to a whole bunch of different tailgates. Guthrie's tailgates. Obviously everybody recognizes Frank. We got stopped every 5 feet. Everybody wants to take a picture with Frank. Even the FSU cheerleaders. Dave Portnoy called him out. Hey, leave some for the rest of us. But yeah, it was a fun game. It was a fun day, period. But I was really expecting FSU to blow it out, or to get blown out once they went down 18 points. But Mackenzie Milton came in and tried to change things around.
Milton strong.
Milton tough. Yeah, that's so yeah. Hopefully, we're going to have a Milton shirt coming out soon on the store for sure. I'm getting that set up now. But yeah, it was a fun day had by all. It was funny leaving the game though, because all the Notre Dame fans were pretty upset, and the FSU fans had optimism. They were hopeful, and it's been a long time since FSU fans have been hopeful. So it was nice.
Yeah, it was nice, really nice. Look, Florida State played well in that game at the end, and Notre Dame always lets people off the hook.
Yeah,
They always do.
Well, as long as they don't execute their team, I think they'll be all right. That was just
Uh,
a bad. It was he took a good joke and made it bad, but he
yeah.
just he
Well,
wrote.
the difference is because John McKay did it in such a way, it just didn't work this time. It just didn't work.
Well,
John
the
McKay did that
reporter
as a response to a question.
exactly.
Brian Kelly just mentioning it, it just doesn't come out the same.
Yeah, yeah. He tried to make the joke without referencing the joke, which you just can't do. But
Yeah.
that was last week. This week, Notre Dame, still another big challenge for them as they take on Toledo.
I mean, Notre Dame should win the game easily, and they probably will.
You think by
But the spread, I think, is a
17?
little. I think the spread's a little too high.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
obviously, I have to go with the Rockets here. Got to go with Glass City. I'm gonna go with Toledo. I mean, just plus 17.
As a better, I won't touch that game.
Oh, really?
I won't touch that game.
So we can say Notre Dame fan does not want to touch Toledo. We'll say that.
I won't touch the game. No. I
Okay.
typically don't touch the spreads that go over 2 touchdowns anyway,
Yeah.
but I won't touch that.
Is that
No.
is that a rule of thumb you have? 2 touchdowns? Is that once it gets that point?
Once
Is
it
there
gets
a
to that point,
reason
I
behind
don't.
that? Or just a
I
feeling?
just a feeling. I just don't touch them.
All right, that's fair. Well, I'm all over that. I'm all over that. Toledo plus 17. I'll take that spread any day on the Barstool Sportsbook app. Obviously, we're in New York right now, but now we have the live gambling. Well, now it's in Virginia, Tennessee, New Jersey. I mean,
Arizona,
Arizona. Yeah, I just went live in Arizona. I mean, the Barstool Sportsbook, we're everywhere.
just like the units are going to be everywhere soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm excited for the Boston trip. We got to go see Vindog. Going to basically talk to him about how he feels about memeing people to death. Is there any remorse? He's killing people out there with his memes. But we're going to check out. He's got a pretty cool baseball glove collection. Maybe we'll go to Fenway while we're there. Who knows? Maybe see a Mr. Jared Carapaz. That'd be pretty cool.
No, that would be great.
Yeah. So, well, that'll be a unit show coming up soon, obviously. But we're in New York, New Jersey for the next 2 weeks. We're gonna hit up that Pixar mini golf.
Yeah,
Next week we got a big game. Mets. We're going to the Mets game tomorrow night with Stu Feiner. I'm excited about that.
yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to get the tickets loaded on my phone, and then that will be good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, tonight you're going. You're going to the Jersey House. You're going to the Jersey House tonight. We have that gambling house in Jersey. You'll be there. It's Thursday night football. They've got the Overs Club, and now they've got the Overs competition. I had to ask. The Overs competition is not open to Barstool employees. I considered maybe giving Dave my 2 weeks, just to become a part of that. But obviously, you can't give up a job at Barstool. You'd be crazy to walk away from this place willingly. So, and that is, oh man, that's not a dig at anyone. That was just me saying that's going to, all right, that's going to come out wrong. But no, anyway, if you're not a Barstool employee, you should be doing the Overs competition. That's going to be fun. But the Overs Club tonight, I think if you bet $100, you get an Overs Club tie. So that'll be pretty cool. And that's something, even if you're a unit, you can wear an Overs Club tie.
Well, that's nice. But you know what? I don't know if I ever want to wear another tie again, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Well, obviously, yes, not for work, not for work. But if I'm going to a nice wedding, I mean, listen, it's a very formal tie. It's black with like white. It looks like white pinstripes. It's a very formal tie. If you're going to a wedding, if you have a court date, anything like that, that tie will look real nice. But yeah, so that's the Overs Club. I believe the over under the line was 50.5 earlier. I believe now it's like 52.5.
It's awful high for me, if you ask me.
It is high, but it's when is the next time the Overs Club is going to be open? You only get so many opportunities to get these to get into the Overs Club. So even if it feels a little high, would you be? I might be upset not taking it, and it hits. You don't get the tie. You're not in the Overs Club. to lose right there. But anyway, so that's the overs club. Yeah. So it might be a little high, for Frank, but um, I'm always about points, so I would take that. But yeah, and then we have it's NFL. I'm just so excited. Football is back. It was obviously we had football in some capacity last season, college and NFL, but just going after the Notre Dame game, being there in that stadium with 83,000 other people. I mean, that's you didn't know what you were missing last season. But so college football's back, NFL's back. I'm excited.
Yeah, so am I. And I got my NFL preview coming up on the Barstool Sports page. I'm gonna be doing weekly picks, so everyone could fade me, and you know how much my picks always suck.
Yeah, but of course you're going to make them. But they are your honest picks, though. You're not.
They
You're
are
not.
my honest picks.
They're honest picks. So you're not fading your. You're not. You're not trying to pull a George and fading yourself, right?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And so
mean, you guys could fade me, but I can't fade myself.
no, of course not. Well, so they have so NFL's back. We've got Miami playing New England.
Yeah, we got Miami playing New England. I think the Dolphins could win that game.
Yeah, New England's favorite. I
Yeah.
think 3.5 points. But you think Tua is their quarterback?
I hope so.
Frank,
I hope so.
you got the tickets?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be able to get them.
Okay, good deal. Good deal.
So I
Well,
got
so
the email from Stu, so that so we should be able to do it from there.
all right, good deal. Well,
See,
New England's
I'm
playing.
always multitasking. That's always me.
I
I'm
know.
multitasking.
I want to make sure you're present for the. I know people pay good money to get this episode, so I want to make sure they get what they pay for. But yeah, New England's starting Mac Jones, who you just took in the draft last night. So
Yeah.
are you going to be cheering for Mac Jones this weekend?
No, he's riding the pine.
So you picked Mac Jones, but he's going to be on the bench.
Yes.
Well, I would officially like to make a trade offer from out of office. We only have one quarterback. We were sticking it out, hoping to get Winston. You guys got Winston as well. I believe you have 4 quarterbacks. We're going to need another quarterback in the league. So keep your text messages or notification alerts open because you'll probably be hearing from out of office pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
No
Well,
collusion, though. No collusion. Everything on the board.
I'm willing to listen to any trade.
All right, good deal. Good deal. Well, and then we've got Jacksonville. Jacksonville went 1-15 last season, but of course this is a new season. We haven't won. Week 1 was our only win. I tell you, when we beat Indianapolis last year on
Do you know
week
the
1,
Colts haven't won a week 1 game since 2013?
but have they won after that though?
A week 1 game since
Yeah.
2013.
What is that? 7 years? 8 years?
And that's only like they've lost every opening week 1 game since 2013, and they only have and before that they only won like 2 or 3, and
Yeah.
in the last like 15 years the Colts are like 2-13 on open week 1. Week 1.
Well,
We're not talking about week 2, week 3, week 4.
Yeah.
But they just can't win. They have this like historic like losing streak on opening day.
Well, I'm going to throw this at you. As a coach, what I've learned is it's not how you start; it's how you finish. The Jaguars won their opening week last year against
And
Indianapolis.
how did they finish?
1-15, Frank. 1-15. They didn't win another game. So the Jaguars have not won a game since week 1 of last season. Of course, this is a new season. We've got Trevor Lawrence now, and I don't know. I mean, this is probably the first time in a couple of years the Jaguars have favored the game.
And they're on the road, but Houston has some problems.
Some major problems. I believe Tyrod Taylor is the starting quarterback.
What are they doing? What's going on with Deshaun Watson?
I
Is he
don't
about
know.
to be suspended? Is he playing? Is he about to be traded?
I mean-
The Texans look like they legitimately look like a team that just is like running in circles and doesn't even know and doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, this is an organization that right now looks like there's only one word that could describe the Houston Texans, and that is cluster fuck. I mean, Houston is a cluster fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, there's no other word to describe it. The Texans are a clusterfuck. They trade all their stars. Deshaun Watson's stuck behind, and the reason why he's stuck behind and he hasn't been traded yet is because he might be going to fucking jail,
Yeah.
and then you'll get nothing for him. Any team that trades for Deshaun Watson is out of their fucking mind.
Well, so that's the thing, because a trade could happen, but the trade would have to have so many fail safes.
Conditions.
Yeah, it would have to have so many conditions in there. Like, hey, if Deshaun doesn't play, the trade's null and void. And so it just doesn't. So yeah, that's I
So
think that's
basically, a team could only trade on draft picks contingent on
him
Deshaun
playing.
Watson being able to continue to play.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Heat starting to get turned up on that.
Well,
There's now criminal investigations.
oh really?
Yep.
I mean, that's it, because it's been going on for like almost a year now.
And the crazy thing is, the first victim that came forward is a lawyer that's friends with the Texans owner.
Really? Oh, you mean that?
And
You mean the accuser's lawyer
yeah,
is a friend of the Texas owner? Gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah, it was. Well, and I talked about it last season when all this came out. For so many people to come out at
there's
one.
something there.
Well,
You
yeah,
know, if
but
it was one,
also, if that many people came out, then somebody knew of what was happening. I mean, there's no way you keep that kind of thing under wraps if so many people are coming out. So it's a question of like, did the Texans know and they just didn't say anything? Was this an issue? Did they kind of not start this obviously, but like, did they just kind of let it leak, or did like there's just so many questions, but somebody had to have known something. There's no way this is just behavior from your starting quarterback that nobody knows about.
yep. I mean, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There truly is something wrong there. It's a total fucking mess.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I believe they're starting Tyrod Taylor, who I'm not sure what he's been doing the past few seasons. Last time I saw him play he was the starting quarterback for Buffalo when Jacksonville beat them in the 2017 wild card game in Jacksonville. Other than that, I haven't been keeping up with him. So
It's a mess. It truly is a mess, and I just think that I honestly think the Texans are in for a awful, awful, awful season.
yeah,
I think the Texans are honestly going to probably. I think the Texans could go. There's a good chance the Texans go 2-15, 1-16, 0-17.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's especially if they have a bad start. If they have a bad start, and then the people that and then kind of the locker room goes, people start. If people don't have any expectations of
The
them,
locker room blew up last year.
yeah. Well, I'm saying if people don't have any expectations, if the fans aren't showing up, if the team loses, a lot early
Bill
on,
O'Brien did a wonderful job. He total wonderful job running this team.
yeah, yeah, that was well. But he traded. Did he get like a fourth round pick?
He didn't
Fourth
get a
round
high
pick.
pick, and then he traded like to the Laramie Tunsil. They traded that trade for Dolphins. He gave the
Yeah.
Dolphins 2 first rounders and 2 second rounders for Laramie Tunsil.
Well, I'm glad they're in the AFC South, a little bit less competition, but again, it is. I'll have to look at that. It might be the first time that the Jaguars are favored in a game in a year and a half, 2 years.
I
I
mean, that is what are you doing, Houston?
don't
What are you
know.
doing?
We'll see. We'll see on Sunday as they play in Houston. The Saints and Packers are going to be playing in Jacksonville. I won't be home for that. I would definitely go to that game if I wasn't back in Jackson. If I was back in Jacksonville, I'm excited to see Jameis Winston start. I think this is the year he makes his comeback. Most improved player.
I think Jameis Winston is going to have a hell of a season.
Yeah, Yeah, I think he shuts up the haters this season. And I'm not just saying that as an FSU guy. I mean, obviously I am, but I'm invested. I'm invested in Jameis Winston. I have a bunch of his rookie cards. I will continue buying his rookie cards until he shows me that he is not a Hall of Fame quarterback, which I believe he is.
I think Jameis Winston comes out and has like. Don't be surprised if he's in the MVP running.
Oh,
The weapons he has in New Orleans.
yeah,
I think we're going to see some special things out of Jameis this year.
yeah. I hope so. I hope so. But yeah, so I mean, it's just football's back. Sports are back. Sports are back, and I'm excited. Even boxing. Who else is back? Evander Holyfield.
Evander Holyfield, what's he like now? 56,
He's got to be
57?
up. He's got to be up there. I met him once. I met Evander Holyfield. Well, I shouldn't say I met. I was by him. I was coming out of when the Super Bowl was in Jacksonville. So I was one of like 5 guys on my high school football team that got invited to the Super Bowl breakfast downtown. And as I was coming out, he was on the phone. He was on a phone call outside, and I didn't want to bother him, so I kind of just like stood next to him. And somebody took a picture, and he turned around to the camera as like the picture's being taken. So it's definitely like what are you guys doing? And I'm like on the phone, and I'm just like next to him like this, like hi. So, yeah. So,
Well, we know how that feels on the opposite side now.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think I heard somewhere that fight, Evander Holyfield, I'm not sure who he's fighting, but Trump and his son are going to be doing commentary on it. It's going to be great commentary. Some might even say the best commentary. I don't know. I don't imagine saying this like 10 years ago that like former President Donald Trump and his son are going to commentate on an Evander Holyfield boxing match. What are you talking about? That's just
I think the Matrix is broken.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Matrix 4, the trailer came out. I have not heard good things. Yeah. But I mean, I wasn't even a big fan of 2 and 3, really. I thought the first Matrix movie was like just so perfect. It was like,
yeah,
like, it was a great movie.
Second and third one were boring.
Yeah. I just felt like they were trying to tell a story that nobody cared about after it was like the first one, like, like that's the story. Like that is, the second and third, they were trying to fill holes or add something to something. It was just, but that'll be coming out. I believe Matrix 4 is coming out around the same time John Wick 4 is coming out. Keanu Reeves killing it. But yeah, I'm just so happy sports are back. And we've got, again, more sports coming. We've got our Boston trip coming up. We're going to go see Vindog. Got to go to Fenway. Obviously, you got to do a hot dog review at Fenway. This will be what? I mean, we talked about it at the White Sox game about hitting up, every major league ballpark and doing a hot dog review. This has to be like Stadium 5 or 6 already, just like the past 2 months.
And maybe one day in the next week or 2, I'll see about showing you the Bronx.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah, no, next week. I mean, I'm in town. I'm in town finally, and so
don't know if the Yankees are in town though.
Oh, really?
We might have to wait until the last weekend of the season.
All right. Well, either way, yeah. So going to Yankees match, got to hit up the Pixar mini golf. I mean, just so much stuff now that I'm actually in town, and yeah, I'm excited. Sports are back. I'm in New York City. I walk out of the office almost every day thinking like, what am I doing? I'm in New York City. Like I never thought I'd leave Florida, and as a good thing. Like I enjoyed Florida. I love Florida. And I just, I figured I would just stay there my whole life. And out of all the cities and states that I probably would not go to, New York was not a place I expected to be. So I'm happy to be here. I'm excited for it and everything. And
especially I'm starting to collect my states. I'm starting to collect all the states now. I've been in almost every state up the Eastern Seaboard now.
Yeah. And I think we're missing the same states probably. Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island.
I've been to Connecticut. I've not been to Rhode Island. I've been to Maine.
Oh, okay.
The only 2 states I haven't been to are Rhode Island and Vermont.
Vermont, that was what I was thinking about. Yeah. So those are probably those are two of like the 3 or 4 states I haven't been either. So yeah, units are going to be on the road again soon. Taking the Tahoe out. I tell you what, the Tahoe's getting up there in mileage. So I might have to get rid of the Tahoe, or I might have to turn it in or get a new one. But the units are going to be on the road
Well,
again soon, heading to Boston.
you could always hop into my Hyundai.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. No free ads. When I say Tahoe, it's just that happens to be the car I have. So I'm not
Well,
talking
that happens to
chassis.
be the car I have. It's a Santa Fe.
Yeah, and so well, once I'm up here, and I know exactly where I'm staying in a couple of weeks, um, maybe I'll get rid of the Tahoe and we'll take the Santa Fe, and we'll do some more unit road trips. But yeah, I'm just sports are back. Doug's is in New
Yeah.
York City. Sports are back. I've got Frank the Tank with me here.
We got college football coming up. We got to hit more with college football games.
I'm all about it. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to make Toledo Notre Dame this weekend, but going to go to the Glass Bowl for sure this year. Got to go, but got to go to Neyland Stadium. We just went to FSU. Who knows? Maybe I'll make it out to USC. Maybe we'll go units in Los Angeles. That'd be a fun time.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Units in South Bend.
I think we can make that work. I'll have to get. I tell you what, you got a picture with the FSU cheerleaders. I'll have to get a picture with the Notre Dame cheerleaders.
And how about this? This one we could do easily. We'll just have to figure out the right day to do it. Units at the birthplace of college football.
Oh yeah, we got to go there. Got to go there. It's just around the corner. Rutgers.
Yeah. Rutgers.
Well, that's another thing. Rutgers. I tell you what. We're going to be doing these unit museum tours and everything. Got to check out Hoboken. I'm not sure. Is there anything actually in Hoboken besides that sign?
I'm sure there is, but the best thing to see in Hoboken is actually the skyline
of New York City.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that it? Yeah. That's what I figured. Well, I don't. We got a lot of stuff.
It's what people go to Hoboken for. They go to Hoboken to see New York.
I know you're being genuine, but that sounds like such a dig on Hoboken. Like if you were saying that about any other city that wasn't Hoboken, it would sound like a dig. But I know you're being genuine.
It is what Hoboken is. Hoboken is Hoboken's where you come to New Jersey to be in New York, but not to be in New York.
It's New York City light.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm excited to be up here. Sports are back, live sports are back, fans are in the stands, and we've got so much stuff planned. It's going to be a heck of a time. That's Barstool Units. I'm Coach Doug's. Frank the Tank, please take us out.
Units, this is Barstool Units. Time for some football. Football is here. Time for the season. It is time for football. Click like, subscribe. Catch us again next week as there's more units on the air.
Beautiful, Frank.